Greetings, everybody! I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 174 of my Minecraft survival series, and we've been focusing a lot on villagers lately. Indirectly, directly, with the Luna Welcome Center and the ferry terminal over here housing the villager breeder and also our method for transporting villagers around Luna respectively. Villagers are kind of getting reprioritized in Luna. They were once like the main focus of this series, and then they kind of fell off after they changed. Now I'm thinking that we might go back to using villager trading as a main resource gathering thing. Thinking golden carrots might become my main food source once again. I'm thinking that is a pushy shulker box over there. I'm thinking we have stonemasons that can provide us with quartz and cyan terracotta. A couple of them have that. Librarians can sell us lanterns, and we get a good paper trade with them, getting emeralds back. Same thing with the farmers. We get lots of emeralds back from trading all our crops with them. So I mean, everything seems good, but there's one thing I talked about before, and that would make this even nicer. Well, much nicer, in fact, and that is getting some discounts. Now, we touched on this recently. I kind of explained how it was going to go, but we're going to be taking our zombie spawn over here, which in Bedrock does in fact spawn zombie villagers, and we're going to collect those zombie villagers in these little containment cells, which were once used for converting zombies into drown, right? We're going to repurpose this entire build and use it to collect zombie villagers in order to bring to our various areas in the city for conversion and getting discounts from our villagers. Now, I have already rerouted this. The zombies no longer go straight to the kill chamber. They will actually go around here and just get dropped into each of these little cells, right? I found the switch. Yes, I was looking for it last time. It's actually on the outside of the building. I have to move it inside, but we're going to go ahead and take the water out of each of these cells and just capture zombies in here. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of an old build, and I seem to have forgotten how exactly it works. So you guys will have to give me just a second here while I kind of try to figure things out. All right, so it's a manual system, which is good because that means it's dependable, right? It just means we have to kind of, be on alert of when to flip the switches and stuff. So for instance, once this guy starts going into the cell, we can flip this switch shut. That locks him in there, right? So if this was a zombie villager, he'd be stuck in there now. No other zombies are going to come in there with him, which means that, we're good to go. We can transport that guy to wherever he needs to go. Now, this next zombie, say if he was a zombie villager, we'd want to keep him captive too in one of these holding cells for conversion eventually as well, so we just flip the switch. So yeah, pretty simple. So at this point, we know how we're going to capture our individual zombie villagers. Now we need to figure out how we're going to transport them to where they actually need to be before they can be converted, preferably without breaking any of my flashing lights back here. So here's what I'm thinking. Since this is already a manual process that we have to be here and attentive for anyway, there's no need to really overcomplicate things, right? We're just going to use a simple trapdoor. No fancy pistons or anything like that, just simple trapdoors that we can open and close at will. These, of course, located beneath each of the little conversion areas. And if the zombie villager gets stuck on the little ledge there, that's why it's open this way. We can give him a little tap, and then he'll fall down here to the little minecart area where a minecart will come around and just scoop him up. Now, we do have several holding cells, right? We have them on both sides of this build, which will come in handy. If we can manage to stock up on zombie villagers, that would actually be great because we'll be letting them down one at a time into the minecarts to actually go and get converted and provide us with discounts, right? But that means we have plenty more zombie villagers that we will be able to hold on to, especially if we can give them items, like either name tag them or give them items in their hand to hold on to. That way they get persistence, right? They won't despawn. We can just kind of stock them up here and use them as needed whenever we need to save a little money. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of this system built out, and then we can give it a test. Now, I'm not going to decorate. It's not going to look super pretty or anything. The stone bricks here are not to make stuff look pretty. They're there to let me know, don't break these blocks, right? Because, like, for instance, these stone bricks, that shows our zombie spawner is right up there, right? These stone bricks over here, they show me that redstone is up there. They pretty much just tell me, hey, don't break these blocks. They belong to a build. But now we have our zombie villager collection system in. They're going to be put into minecarts, then brought up here, where we need to figure out how exactly we're going to get these zombie villagers to wherever they need to be in Luna, which villager trading area they need to actually go to, right? Because we're going to have several of them. We do have several of them. So I'm going to need to widen this a little bit. This is an area that was cleared out previously with the intent of connecting the House of Leaves over here to Wolfen's Laboratory. We went another route with that. We still might do a little bit more with each of these builds in the future, but I won't get around to that. Right now, we're just reclaiming this for other purposes. We'll do something else with those somewhere else. Oh, and check this out. Look at this. This is convenient. We won't have to dig tunnels to run our tracks either. We can run our tracks through or underneath Luna, through old Luna, right? That'll be nice. All right, so this is more or less how our little hub here is going to work. Zombie villager comes up here, stops on the depowered rail. From there, we need to determine where he actually goes. For instance, if we want him to go to the farmer's market, he would need to go this way. Just pretend the rail continues on, right? So we'll flip this switch and the zombie goes down here and follows the rail to the farmer's market. Otherwise, he will proceed straight until he's told to turn somewhere. So the rail will just go this way, or minecart will go that way. And for instance, if we want him to go to Dunder Minecraft instead, we'll flip this switch, and then he'll proceed off in this direction and follow this rail to Dunder Minecraft. So I think at this point, before we build anything else, we'll want to go ahead and give this a little test so far. Just make sure that the components we have in so far actually do what we want them to do. So, yeah, I wasn't attentive enough, and we did get a zombie villager in here. Problem is, he brought some friends. Wow, have I just been on autopilot this whole time? Like, I didn't even give myself enough space to actually open up the trapdoors over here. Oh my goodness. We're not off to a good start, guys. All right, down the hole, please, sir. Thank you. And then he's waiting for us right here, so we can go ahead and just get him into a minecart, and we can take him off, whisk him away to a new, much better life as a resident of Luna, right? So he should be waiting for us on the depowered rail over here. Yes, perfect. And then we can determine where in Luna we actually want him to go. Ow! Kidding me? All right, well, see, this is why we test. Excuse you. You could have been somebody. All right, some bugs to work out. Okay, so at this point, I have made some changes to our system, and we're just waiting on a villager zombie, and it looks like we got one to actually test this out. So let me go ahead and clear out this area over here. Excuse me, guys, you gotta clear the way. We got a VIZ coming through. Very important zombie. Look at all that armor down there. It could be used as to dress up armor stands and stuff, or smelt them down for gold. Maybe I should start collecting some of this stuff. Anyway, we got him coming through, so we'll go ahead and capture these regular zombies in this first chamber, and then this guy will come over here. We'll go ahead and capture him in this next one. Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and send him off on his way. Boop. So I guess at this point, let me go ahead and fill you guys in on what I've done. Basically, in his path, I put a sticky piston with a glass block in front of him, which should prevent him from carrying any forward momentum and moving onward. Oh no, you're just gonna go backwards, huh? Just gonna make me look foolish, huh? Got news for you, pal. Got news for you. You're not even listening. This is ridiculous. Oh, there you are. You know what? You're not just making me look ridiculous. You're making yourself look ridiculous as well. Look at you. Back and forth. Like some kind of... It's not even listening to me. It's ridiculous. All right. So what if we were to do the same thing here? What if we were to put a glass block right here? Would that prevent him from moving backwards? Let's see. Nope. The answer is no. But you know what? I think that's okay. I think that's okay, because let's say if we want him to go somewhere, say Dunder Minecraft, we can wait for him to, like, he just bounces back and forth, right? You can go ahead and bounce back and forth again if you want. No, you don't want to? All right, so he'll eventually come back this way, and then we can pull the lever, and then that will send him off to Dunder Minecraft, right? So, yeah, it works. I mean, maybe not the way we intended, but it works. But maybe to save on rails, we should do lines with multiple destinations. So for instance, the business district line right here, that would take these zombie villagers to both Dunder Minecraft and also to the enchanted pickaxe stonemason area. And you know what? Actually, the farmer's market isn't too far away from Dunder Minecraft, so maybe we don't even need a separate farm district line. Maybe we could do something else like these two right here. This rail and this rail would maybe just be for future expansion. And we'll go ahead and run one line today that takes us to all three of our stops. Yeah. And then we'll just use that same rail switching technology to determine where they need to go, right? So we'll pre-program this in before we even get the zombie villager in the minecart to avoid the back and forth. So we've got the tracks run to the enchanted pickaxe, as you just saw, and also the tracks run over here to Dunder Minecraft. And this will be a little villager curing area back here. So once we cure the zombie villager, we'll just release him into the building. Now we just need to get the tracks run over here to the farmer's market, and this may require a bit of digging. Well, I stand corrected yet again. I found another pre-dug path that takes us to right behind our storage system, and this just so happens to take us pretty much exactly where we need to go. So at this point, I got one more line left to run over here to the farmer's market. And this project is actually progressing quicker than I expected it to, which is very good because I had some other stuff in mind for this episode once we actually finish with this. So we'll just add another flippy floppy rail thingy right here where up takes us to Dunder Minecraft and down takes us to the farmer's market. So now all our rails are in. They're set to go to the farmer's market. We've got our splash potions of weakness now brewed up here. So that's good. I'll still need some golden apples. This will go ahead and start brewing a whole nother set of them. And yeah. Oh, I'm excited. All right. This is it. All right, we're gonna see if this actually works now. So we'll go ahead and turn our spawner on, try to get a zombie villager in here, and then take him through the whole process to the farmer's market since that's the furthest away. And then we'll see if there's any issues that arise. Oh, here we go. Okay. So here we go. Clear the chamber. Clear the chamber. All right, so we got a zombie villager. We'll go ahead and turn this off, and we'll boop him down the hole. Oh, and we got another one. We got another zombie villager over here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and collect two. I mean, this guy is holding rotten flesh, so he's not going to despawn. He has persistence. So we'll go ahead and collect a second one, and we'll take the second one over to the farmer's market, and this guy will just hang out. So down the hole, if you please, sir. Thank you very much. And then you guys can get out of here. There's honestly no reason for you to hang out. And then we'll just give this guy a little boop down the hole here if you need some motivation. Boop. And yeah. And you hang out, buddy. I'll be back for you in just a few. Now, I would love to keep an eye on this guy as he goes through here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up. So I think we'll cut him off. We'll meet him halfway along the journey. Uh-oh. Luna, we have a problem. This dude has spontaneously combusted. Hey, stop, drop, and roll. Can't put the fire out. Now, these rails don't go outside anywhere, but I have a suspicion that our road up there, which is made out of half slabs, is the reason why he's getting set on fire. Maybe the sunshine shining through it or something. Hopefully that helps. Boop. This guy appears to be doing much better, so we've made it over here back to the farm district without incident, which means we can go ahead and actually get this guy converted and hopefully get some discounts on our trades upstairs, which would be very, very nice. So we'll go ahead and hit this guy with a little bit of this, and then we'll hit you with a little bit of this. You'll hit me with a little bit of that, and we're even, right? And there we go. And for some reason, he's a stonemason, which is fine. That's fine. I just don't understand it. There are not any stonecutters in the vicinity that I'm aware of, but hey, it is what it is. He can grow up to be whatever he wants to be, right? So long as he tells all his friends upstairs about, what I did for him, right? So we're going to go ahead and just see whether or not he actually did that. You might want to move out of the way, guy. There's going to be a boat coming through. Yep. Now you're both in the boat, and then you hit your head and you're moving. Okay. That's so bad looking. Okay. All right. Get out of the boat. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're not mad at me, are you? You're still happy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and look how happy these guys are as well. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I was going to wait till later to do like a little trading session thing, but I can't wait. I gotta taste these deals. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Boop. Now this fancy guy, he of course has to go to Dunder Minecraft. And yet again, for some reason, he ends up being a stonemason. I suppose that's okay though. Come on in. Don't make me get the boat. I got the boat on my hotbar. Don't make me get the boat. I'll get the boat. That's right. These villagers. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And, normally, I wouldn't even bother with stuff like this because we get enough resources to actually do some trading. But the thing is, these guys, once you do enough trading with them, they get really expensive. So it's nice to bring them down to substantially lower prices, And finally, we'll get this guy on his way to the enchanted pickaxe. Now, since this is where we keep our stonemasons, what do you want to bet? Chances are he does not become a stonemason. A little bit of this. A little bit of that, and now we wait. We'll see. Oh, there he goes, and he did become a stonemason. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud. Let's get you out of here, and get you into this boat, and we'll take you up to see your friends. So the actual place we're going to, like, we're just moving them all in, right? So from here, we'll just go down into the waterway we'd established previously, and this will take us up our little soul sand stairway up into the stonemasons area of the enchanted pickaxe. I am so proud. I hope he picked a workstation that's up here, because if so, that we just added another stonemason to our roster. Oh, fellas, let me introduce you to this guy. He's awesome. I don't know his name, but he's awesome. Now, at this point, as you guys can probably imagine, I am really in the mood to do some villager trading, test out our new discounts, and, you know, play around with our villagers a little bit. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and kick back and get to haggling. Now, I know we haven't built anything in this episode, nothing big and substantial, in contrast to our other more recent episodes, right? But we're still making tons of progress here. We got our villager trading setup back up and running. We've got all our weapons now repaired, all our tools mended up, and we are in a good spot overall. We're making tons of progress despite the lack of actual building occurring. And we're making good time as well, and that leaves us time to go and do something else before this episode's over. So if you guys remember last episode, I mentioned kind of what we're going to be doing today. I said that we were going to go and spend some time in the Nether, of course, working on a project for the benefit of Luna on behalf of Wolfen's Laboratory, who we have no reason at all to distrust, right? And now that we're alone, so Wolfen's Laboratory, if you guys remember last episode, they actually broke into LOL headquarters. Loonies Against Wolfen's Laboratory, which just so happens to be an organization that Wolfred and myself run. I wasn't home at the time, but Wolfred was, and fortunately, he managed to escape with Decoy Dog in his custody. Anyway, using my powers of deduction, I managed to pick up their scent, and, you know, I might have been somewhat aided by a trail that Wolfred left, but mostly it was me. I tracked them down, figured out where they went. Now, unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to really discuss with Wolfred what he's going to need from me in order to extract this information from Decoy Dog, the information about what Wolfen's Laboratory has been up to and where they're keeping Watchdog. But hopefully that's something we're going to be able to discuss now. Hopefully Wolfred is home because he's got the door locked. We'll see if he answers. Wolfred, yes. Hey, it's me, Lobo. Hi. Can you let me in? I don't know the password. You can see me. Okay, thank you. Oh my. Wolfred, you look like you've had a bad day. All right, Wolfred and I have some stuff we need to discuss, but I will be back with you in just a moment. All right, that was productive. So let's talk about what we need to do. First things first, we need to justify my presence here in the Nether, specifically at the Withering House, because this thing, it no longer works. We no longer get wither skeletons in here. We no longer get blazes coming through here. We're no longer collecting drops from any of the mobs that we used to collect at this place. So if I were to remain here, my presence would be somewhat suspicious, and if Wolfen's Laboratory were to catch on, they'd probably quickly figure out what's up. So what we need to do here to justify my presence is to actually get this place running again. Now, this place hasn't ran, it hasn't been operational since the dimensional shift brought our world into bedrock, right? So basically what we're going to need to do is come up with a whole new design. Like, you know, I'm pretty happy with what we built here, but it's not going to work again in this dimension. But I'm just going to leave it here. You know, we're not going to do the major renovations it would take to convert this into a bedrock farm. What we're going to do instead is build an addition to the Withering House. So at this point, let me go ahead and explain how mobs spawn in Bedrock, at least to the best of my knowledge, because things work slightly different than what I'm used to. Hi, Blaze. We're gonna get away from him. So I'm used to mobs just spawning willy-nilly throughout the Nether Fortress. You build your platform for mobs to spawn on, and then they spawn, right? Not so in Bedrock. They actually have predetermined positions where they will spawn. Like the center of this right here, they will spawn at several positions along the center of this walkway and in several other places down several other walkways, right? And they actually spawn in kind of a grid pattern. So if we were to extend this platform out this way, we'd find several other spawning locations. And I do think this is probably where we're going to end up building our farm because it is over a lava ocean. We got a lot of this area slabbed over here. So this is probably going to be our best bet as far as getting a pretty good amount of mobs spawning in. Now, I have spent some time in a copy of a backup of this world, just figuring out the spawning locations, taking down the coordinates of where mobs will spawn back here behind our previous Wither spawning platform, right? For instance, along this row of stone bricks I'm currently putting in, we should have 3 separate Wither spawning locations, Wither skeleton spawning locations, provided that the coordinates I wrote down are actually correct. And I'm going to take that as a good sign. I'm going to take that as they are actually correct because we got some withers spawning in here, which is a good proof of concept, right? Now, you know, when I say predetermined positions, look at that. We got our first wither skull of this little venture. That's awesome. I want it. Go away, Cole. Don't need you right now. All right, perfect. So that doesn't mean they're the same for each world. That just means that, you know, these are the coordinates that they will spawn in this particular world. And that right there is going to be a good location. That's the only block that we're far enough away from that they will actually spawn on currently. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good location for our new farm, given the rates we're seeing right now. Now, I suppose I should go ahead and tell you what my plans are for this wither farm as we're starting to build this platform out. Now, this will be the second wither farm, the wither skeleton farm that we're building in this world. And I'm not really digging the idea of building something else that's complicated and takes up a lot of time, which will inevitably break at some point in the future. So this farm is going to be fairly basic. And when I say fairly basic, I mean that in the sense that we're going to be using little to no redstone. Excuse me. I meant to not build on the places where wither skeletons could actually spawn yet, but I guess I did anyway. I wasn't really paying attention to my notes. Anyway, let me go ahead and start building in the remainder of this platform, making sure to mark out these specific locations where the skeletons will spawn, and then we'll talk about the ideas a little bit more once I feel a little bit safer here. All right, so we have our floor now. We have all our locations marked where the wither skeletons and blazes will actually spawn. And as you can see, they spawn at a specific corner of the block, right? So we can actually trap them fairly easily. I won't though, because pigmen will also get trapped in there. And I really like my zombie pigmen. I've established this before. They're adorable. They're one of my favorite mobs in the game. So we're not going to be injuring any zombie pigmen during this entire endeavor. Just for reference, just so you guys know. So we'll be making changes to this, even though this farm would work as just this, very basic, very plain. We would have to take some lights out of here to actually get our wither skeletons spawning. So I'll go ahead and do this in a couple locations just so you can see they actually come in here. But yeah, we're not done for several reasons. Number one is because I don't feel safe in here with gas and stuff flying about. The floor is actually going to be the same floor as the interior of the withering house, sandstone slabs. I just want to get this floor in so gas wouldn't blow holes in it or anything. But yeah, here we go. We got some withered skeletons spawning in now in this unlit area. This is going to make things super easy. Ooh, oh, ow, ooh, hot, hot, hot. You weren't in your home. You were not in your home. Okay, what I do wrong with this one? Is this one in the wrong location? The glass. I put the glass on the wrong corner of the block. It should go on this side like all the other ones. One of these things is not like the other. All right, that should be good. So the farm itself is basically done, but we need to go ahead and make a way to get to the farm. And I think we're going to go out of this little hallway right here and kind of stair step up to it. And of course, we'll be decorating this place too. This will look like part of the Withering house. You know, we use the bone blocks, the jungle wood, the cyan terracotta, and we'll kind of make all this place, you know, cohesive, right? Because it's all part of the same house. It's all part of the Withering house. They're just two different farms in the Withering house, right? All right, so what we're probably going to end up doing, I think, is, yeah, we're going to end up making a stairway going up to that, kind of right next to this stairway. So it'll be like you have to make a swift U-turn to get there, but I think something like that will potentially work. Go ahead and slab these off real quick just to make sure I don't forget about them. Oh my goodness, where? Oh, I'm stuck. This is ridiculous. Let me out. Oh, the spiderweb's got you now. The spiderweb got the best of both of us this battle, huh? Where did that guy even come from? This is like half slab floor. I don't know. Anyway, I was on my way to go ask Wolfred to kindly step out here so that we could put on a little bit of music and get started building. Welcome back, everybody. We have the newest addition to the Withering house now complete. And basically, you know, the reason why I didn't really go through the build itself with you is because we've already done this, right? When we built the original Withering House, you saw how that was built, right? We just carried the same design that we used previously into this design, so I didn't really think there was a need to rehash everything. But yeah, now it's done, built in the same style of the Withering House, but this time it will actually offer us Wither Skulls and Blaze Rods in this dimension. So next thing I want to do is go ahead and test this out. Now this is going to be a manual type of farm, you know. We'll go through, manually take out the mobs, manually collect the stuff, and then manually put it away where it's actually supposed to be. I think there was probably, oh look at that, Wither Skull. Yes, already off to a good start. Now, the only actual redstone involved in this farm is going to be our item disposal system here at the center of the room. This is where like our bows and stone swords and like random armor bits and stuff would go. And then we pull this switch over here and that shoots it out into the lava below. We'll see if we can get a quick peek at this in action. I just lost a piece of slab there, but yeah, that's basically what it is. Excuse me! Jeez. The little magma cubes are an issue. And I'll be the first to admit that was not something I put enough thought into, because I think for the most part I'm going to leave the magma cubes alone, because if we do end up breaking them down, if they get smaller than this, guess what happens? They start doing that, right? And then they start getting out, and then we have to deal with the little guys roaming around here. Don't like that. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna not really mess with these guys too much, I don't think. Not if I don't have to anyway. So at this point, I think what I want to do is go ahead and give this thing a little bit of a test run, see how good or bad it actually does end up working, and then if we need to make any changes, we'll make them after that. Wither Skull! You know, I was wondering why we were only getting spawns in the center section. I looked around and it occurred to me, Lobo, you put trapdoors over the actual spawning spots, preventing them from spawning. Genius. Yeah, that's that's much better. The next problem I'm having over here is with these pigmen who like to steal Wither Skulls and other stuff. Now, here's the problem with this. Here's something I didn't think about. The pigmen, once they actually pick something up, will not despawn. Like, if we go the requisite distance to get mobs to despawn, and we go back, those pigmen are still going to be there because I let them pick stuff up. So I'm going to have to think about how we can rectify this situation. But, you know, I mean, this is why we test stuff, so we can figure out our problems and come up with solutions, right? And one of the problems is we have these pigmen spawning in here, taking up items that don't belong to them, and putting them on and wearing them and making themselves persistent. And the problem with that isn't so much that they're not going to despawn, because they don't affect the mob cap once they're persistent and holding items like this. But he is stealing Wither Skulls from me, right? He stole a Wither Skull from me. And I just don't want to run around here trying to avoid them, because that's not really a whole lot of fun, you know, trying to poke and get the Wither Skulls or Wither Skeletons I actually want to get, right? Not a whole lot of fun. So we need to get these guys out of here and make sure we don't have any more persistent pigmen clogging up the works like this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kindly ask these guys to vacate these cramped quarters. And now, since I think they're all out, we're going to play a little game. We're going to play a little game of tag. So, hey, buddy, you're it. And then we're just going to lead them. Hi, we're gonna lead them this way. Okay, guys, you're starting to scare me a little bit. Are you really still mad? You shouldn't be mad anymore. All right, we're going to lead them into the Nether fortress, since they like to pretend they're Wither Skeletons. And guys, this is yours. This whole fortress, this is now yours, okay? This is your new home, okay? So enjoy it. And I will see you sometime. Eventually, probably, maybe, probably not. I should also explain how we're going to handle future pigmen spawning in here and how we're going to avoid that same situation with them picking up stuff and becoming persistent and stealing my skulls. So basically when we come to the Withering House, we're going to be playing on a short simulation distance. Now this is beneficial because it stops mobs from spawning too far outside of this area, and it also makes sure that we despawn mobs like that pigman that was right there, which we've now exchanged for skeletons, right? So that's basically how we're going to handle the situation in the future. If there are wither skeletons and pigmen in a particular thing, we're not even going to worry about those wither skeletons. We're going to leave, come back, and trade them for something else. That also means I have to be pretty good about collecting all the stuff that these guys drop, because we don't want any pigmen spawning in these empty chambers and picking up stuff and putting them on. So just stuff we have to be aware of. The other issue I'm trying to figure out is these magma cubes, right? So I put some trapdoors around the outside for aesthetic purposes, but also to kind of try to keep the magma cubes contained, at least for the most part. So they kind of get caught up on here as they jump around, and then, you know, we can easily pick them up. We don't have to worry about them running around on the floors as much. I mean, it's not a great solution, but it's the best I can come up with right now. Aside from like surrounding each of these chambers in like full blocks, which I don't want to do, again, for aesthetic purposes. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no, that didn't work. No, their spawning is just ridiculous. You saw that, right? He spawned just inside of blocks, you know, and squeezed his way out, which is ridiculous. How do I counter that? I mean, buttons maybe? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna try this. Maybe we can put buttons on every block except for our spawn block, rendering every other block surrounding that non-spawnable, and hopefully that will work. I don't know. Right now, this is probably the point in the video. People are like, you should check out this tutorial by so-and-so. No, I'm fine. It's not a big deal. But now that we've made some changes since our last test, I think this is about the time we want to go through here and put this thing once more to the test, just see how it functions, see if it's any better, see if we can... Nope, already failed. So yeah, the extra trapdoors were pointless, the buttons were pointless, the extra trapdoors at least offer some aesthetic value, but the buttons were pointless at least. I'm not worried about it. We'll get some magma cream. Leave me alone! And that brings us up to 100 levels. Yes, all right, 100 levels and a pretty good amount of drops, including a pretty good amount of wither skulls. Like, this isn't a perfect farm by any means. It's not even a great farm. It's an okay farm. I would say it's okay, but it suits my needs, right? We get a little bit of magma cream from this, which is kind of irritating. We get some blaze rods from this, which is good. I like the blaze rods. We get a lot of trash that quickly fills up our inventory that we have to throw away. We get a pretty good amount of coal from this. We got a pretty good amount of wither skulls from this in just a short time we've been here since we built it. We're collecting arrows as well. Not that I need them because I have an infinity bow. We're collecting bones as well, which is also very good. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, we've solved the pigman issue. We know what to do with that. The only thing that hasn't been resolved really is the random magma cube spawning in here, which is it's rare for the most part. You know, you don't see that very often. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with this, I think. And it's very addictive too. Like, I'm finding it very hard to just stop running around here. All right, this is the last one. I promise, this is the last one. And another skull. All right, perfect one to end it on. We're done. Maybe. Yeah, we're done. I need to go talk to Wolford, so this is where we're going to call it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button to let me know. I'd really appreciate that. If you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.